Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Midweek Fix with the LFC Daytrippers. I'm Gav, and that is Keith, and we're going to talk about Rangers v Liverpool at Ibrox tomorrow in the Champions League. We've a few other bits to get through as well. We've a prize that we have to give you a chance to win. We've some merchandise that we have coming your way, and a couple of bits. Keith, how are you?
I'm great, Gav. Great. Just after watching the girls in green there qualifying for the World Cup for the first time. Two Liverpool players, Nate Fatty and Megan Campbell there leading the way. Tell you, Megan Campbell, some throw, did you see any of it?
Yeah, she
Fucking
threw one
throws
straight
to
in
the
the
back
net.
post. She went straight into the net. She another one to the back post. Like a blatant cannon. It's like Rory, the lap young one she is.
It'd be great, you know. We could bring, like in hockey and stuff, you can bring on just specialist subs.
Yeah.
She'd be deadly, wouldn't she?
Oh, no, for tomorrow night at Ibrox.
I'd say she's a good she's a good footballer, right, but that's a serious weapon to have. But why not? Let's start out with the women's Ireland women's team, and of course the goal scorer tonight is from Donegal, and that was quite a poignant moment because of what's happened in Donegal over the last week. So it was great,
and quite
to see,
close as well. Milford, I think she's only down the road from where the tragedy happened. So it was a great moment.
Brilliant goal, brilliant touch, finish.
It was
great celebration goal. And she remembered everyone from that tragedy after she scored. So I was delighted with that as well. Before we move on, what jersey are you wearing? Because somebody's going to ask, what jersey is that he's wearing?
Fluminense, Brazilian team.
Going with Fluminense tonight.
Going with Fluminense, just had it on. Forgot to change it, you know what I mean? But it is what it is.
It's nice. I like it. If you're watching, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, do so. You want to subscribe because you'll need to be a subscriber to win our little prize that we have coming for you.
Did we get a dislike yet? Or?
No, I don't think Jono's in yet. When Jono comes in, he'll dislike, hates us. It's not him hitting the unlike. We're just blaming him, and I can't see him in there yet. So let's just keep that up. That we're blaming him. Is that all right?
Sounds good.
Jurgen Klopp's volley and Didi Hamann.
Yeah, just when I thought it was out, Jurgen dragged me back in with a little slug in the gut there for Didi.
It wasn't even a slug in the gut. It was like, oh, him. I respect it. It was such a put down, but like so well caressed into the conversation at the same time, wasn't it?
Wonderful.
He deserved it.
Yeah. 100% he did. Yeah. Didi begging for a job when we got in Jurgen at the time, and because he got blanked, he's been leading this charge of absolute shite against Klopp and the team. So it's nice to see him getting a little lead and little dig in the ribs every now and again. And what better man? And I'd say Jurgen feels better for it as well. He was looking a bit dejected, feeling a bit down. How am I going to pick myself up? Boom. Didi Hamann, you say? Oh, wait till I tell you about him. Lovely. Yeah. Great gear.
But the person asking the question, Didi Hamann feels that you need a spark. Why didn't he just come in and go, what do you need to spark this team, Jurgen, at the moment? But he had to mention his name. And clearly the fella asked, I don't know who asked it, but clearly the person asking it is like, oh, do you know what? I'll just throw this in here because I get a response. So they knew what they were doing there as well.
Little grenade thrown in. I like that, yeah. It's all right. It's better than the usual trying to catch him out, you know what I mean? And tripping Jurgen up. This was a nice one because he took it. Like Aaron Judge in the baseball, just knocked it out for a home run. That's a little American one for anyone that's into the old baseball.
Yeah. John must be in because we've won unlike, but we get it every night. It's a brilliant. Just the commitment is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I like it.
I do. I love it. And when they stop doing it, I hope they don't stop doing it.
I'd love to know who it is because if you don't know and stop doing it.
Yeah,
I'd like to check if they're still.
I know who it is.
Do you know what I mean? I hope they haven't passed on or passed away. It'd be nice to just keep a track. I have a suspicion of who.
No, I know who it is. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, 100% know who it is.
Lovely. Vinny O'Connor asked a question according to our boy on the ground, Chris Brack.
Yeah, well, Vinny let himself down there, but he absolutely got it. Absolute forehand smashed back at him, so that was good. Look, a man's getting volleyed. We're all for that. Jason McAteer's having a nightmare. Was it beIN Sports?
Yeah, it was. It was with them Muppets, was it? Keys and Gray, anyway. It's all Gray.
So he's gonna. I think he's probably regretting them comments already. But look, what can you do?
Disrespectful, isn't it? Like, it's a stupid play and stupid things to be saying.
Well, the way I look at it is, right, I liked Brian Kerr as Ireland manager. I thought he tried to play a bit of football. I think he was a bit unlucky. course, he's the one that brings Keane back, isn't he?
Yeah.
And like, he wasn't the worst Ireland manager by any stretch, like, you know. And the funny thing is, like, after him, you have the likes of Steve Staunton and stuff like that, and there's some unmitigated disasters.
And even the big name ones were shy.
And I don't know if I haven't seen the full video of what's gone on, but I don't know if McAteer's tried to start off with, and comparing him to whoever he was comparing him to, but you don't come in like that and say, we were all looking at this fella going, what did you do in the game? That's even by the end of it, you respected Brian Kerr. You can't be going looking at it like that. Like, it'd be like Mourinho going into Porto and saying, what have you done in the fucking game? You know? Yeah. And there probably is a few that were at Porto at the time that regret it in a massive way now, because he won them he won them a UEFA Cup and a European Cup, didn't he?
Yeah.
Really full. But just that sort of stuff just shows very little respect to the person that's coming in. Forget, like, I kind of look around and say to Jason McAteer, what did you do in the game?
Yeah.
What have you done?
Exactly, yeah.
You know? And all right, he scores a winner against Haaland, one of the most famous goals in history. I get that. And he goes for World Cup in '94.
And he done the book thing with Roy Keane. That was good.
But like, you know, I just think that the fact that he's going on like that, like, I don't know who he's trying to impress with it. Vinny's justification was that Didi is an ex-Red. Klopp's response was brilliant. Just because he's an ex-Red doesn't mean he can say anything. When you don't understand, he's put him properly in his box there, so I'm absolutely fine with that. We have got Rangers tomorrow night, and a lot has gone on since Sunday, with regards to players and stuff like that. Thiago shaved his head again, so he must be in business. He's had enough of this. Yeah, he must feel that haircut's just a bad omen. But Trent is out for a couple of weeks.
Not too bad, I suppose. Yeah.
No, I was going to ask you on that. Matip is out for a couple of weeks, but Kanate, of course, comes on. At the weekend for him. But just looking at them two, you know, all right, we have Kanate back in for Matip, and maybe that's something we are going to do anyway. But the Trent thing, I said it last night, we don't want to lose players. But is it a little bit of a blessing for him, Keith, where he gets 2 weeks out and he just gets him in his own headspace and gets him, recovers from this ankle kind of, it's just what is it? It was ankle. He hasn't broken or anything like that. It's just a twisted ankle. So is it a little bit of a blessing?
It is. I mean, I think it's not ideal. Like, you don't want him getting a knock around, but like 2 weeks, you can live with 2 weeks, and he does need to be out of the team, in my opinion. He needs time out of the team. 2 weeks is a good few games at this stage, but isn't it? He could be missing a fair amount of games. But I think he needs that rest, and it's good to see it. It'd be interesting to see that the lineup tomorrow, because before, I know we're going to get on to it, but I wouldn't rule Nat Phillips out of getting a game in this one.
Yeah, because Kev O'Sullivan says there he doesn't think you can start Kanate, Gomez and Virgil van Dijk tomorrow. And I know what his reasoning behind that is, if you get another knock to somebody.
Another knock, yeah. Kanate coming back, you know, it could be something.
But you have to weigh that up. You have to weigh that up against needing to win, because this could give you a bit of leeway in the group, because if Napoli beat Ajax at home and we win tomorrow night, we're both Ajax or Napoli be on 12, we be on 9, Ajax will be on 3 with 2 games to go. We'd only need a point. You know, so I think it's one of those where we're gonna have to weigh it up with the form we're in. I get where Kev's coming from, but it is a big game. It's going to be a different game to last week, isn't it, Keith? Because, you know, Rangers at home or Ibrox are a different proposition than away. And don't let the Napoli thing fool you, because he played quite well against Napoli until they lost a man.
Yeah, but he played fucking terrible against us last week, and I would say, not giving us a false sense of security, but they were one of the worst teams I've seen at Anfield in a long time. Now, I haven't gone to town on them on Twitter or anything, because we have to go there, and Ibrox is a tough place to go. That will be bouncing. They'll be quite raucous. Battle of Britain stuff will be in full flow. That maybe didn't get the hype at Anfield with the fact that it's Liverpool, and you know, probably don't buy into that as much from their end. But I think this one might have a bit more spice about it, and it will be tough. They can't play much worse, in my opinion, than they did. Again, will they play 3 at the back? I don't think so, but I suppose their team their lineup will tell you, I think, very early how the game is going to go.
And I suppose like they're on 0 points at the minute, but if they were to win tomorrow night and Napoli were to beat Ajax, they're in with a strong chance of a third place finish in the group and getting into the Europa. That they got to the final last season. They can't play much worse than they did last week.
They were very poor, and I think that team selection sort of dictated that, to be honest, because when you look at the ones who come on, they made a big difference, and especially the centre forward, Cholak, has, he's been banging in goals, and he went with Morelos, and I know he's a bit of a spark at times, but it just wasn't probably the right game for him. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Liverpool still that in theory, are we still that threat that Van Bronckhorst will have to still play it cautious? I don't know. So hopefully they will, because they were bleeding awful.
The only way I look at it is I don't think they can come out and sit as deep and be as passive as they were at Anfield last week. And I think it was a mix of them being really poor, and I thought Liverpool were good. At this, where we are at this stage with regards to Liverpool, it's kind of like, oh well, we play well, but look at the opposition, because we're looking to hit a big team hard to try break ourselves out of this fucking coma we're in at the minute. But they can't be any more passive, so they're going to have to come out and play, and that might open up teams for Liverpool. I think Diaz is still a huge loss, because he would have loved a bit of extra room or Ibrox to run at.
And we don't have another player that does that. Whoever comes in, be it Jota, be it Carvalho, whoever it's going to be, they're not going to have that pace and that direct running style that Diaz gives you. So yeah, that'll be a big loss.
It's when you look, I was surprised he went with Morelos the last time, because Morelos is the sort that tries to get physical with centre backs, and all right, maybe it's a case of if we can get it up to him and he can be physical, he can win a few free kicks for us and get us up the pitch. But if you deal with Morelos once or twice, he kind of loses the head.
He doesn't have any discipline,
and then he loses all effect as what he's doing. I've seen him playing loads of times against Celtic, and if Celtic deal with him in the first 15 minutes, he kind of disappears out of games. And the only way he gets back into a game is if he tries to do something stupid and verges on a red card, or indeed gets one. Whereas this guy Cholak or Cholak, whatever his name is, this fella is more pace.
He's bigger as well.
Yeah, he's bigger, he's stronger. He's maybe not stronger, but he's a lot more pace. And I thought they would have used that at Anfield, especially if we were going to look at our fullbacks going forward. But funny enough, on the night, Trent, his average position is probably in air half, which is for the first time in about 5 years. But just looking at, we go through the team, and we're not going to stay here all night going through this. We've told each other we're going to be out of here by 11 o'clock. But we've said, I think Trent being out with an injury rather than coming out. I said it last week. If you take Trent out, it's kind of, you've taken him out, you've fed him to the fucking wolves here. Whereas this twisted ankle, he's out for 2 weeks. It gives them a chance to get his head straight and get himself back. And you know what? He wasn't the only one at fault on Sunday, but it's just been a whole mix of stuff, like Sunday, Brighton away with England. It's just been a horrible month for Trent, and not a great season so far.
Horrible season, if I'm
but that it really intensified over the last month, I suppose.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's out there now, and that's fine. And maybe there's an issue at right back, but I don't know how much we can risk here tomorrow night, Keith. Like, if that was the same, if you seen Rangers or Anfield last week and went, that's what Rangers are, you go, I can risk probably 2 or 3 here, because I will still go and win. But I don't know how much we can risk, Keith, because if we were to lose here tomorrow night, the whole group is back in the melting pot. It's a defeat away to Rangers, all due respect to Rangers, and we're going into the weekend against Man City. We need something. And although the question to Klopp today is ridiculous and who it came from, but this whole idea of, we do need something to just go bang and for Liverpool to get going here. And a lot of people will turn around and say, no, well, there's no getting going because this, and fucking 80 reasons. But at the same time, they will be looking for something to kickstart them, Keith. You have to.
Yeah, they do. They need something. It's every time you think there's a corner being turned, it's not. We're not getting the reaction that we're expecting from this team, from these players, from the coach, from the coaching staff. We just seem, you said it earlier, we're in this coma that we can't get out of, and that's how it feels at the moment, because you're looking at it and you expect so much from these lads, and we're just not seeing it. And you know, the way the injuries are now lining up, we don't really have the personnel by the looks of it to sort of to play our way out. And this could now mean it could be a perverse sort of a backs to the wall type of thing now. Get through Rangers tomorrow, which I think we will. But I'm looking ahead then at Man City and what we'll do in that. And it may not be the usual going toe for toe with them, And maybe Liverpool need that. Maybe it's not a creative spark that we need. Maybe it's solidifying at the back that we need to get the rest of the team moving. And that's why Trent, look, I don't like digging Trent out because we're all fans of Trent. We're all fans. I mean, on this channel, we get lashed out for being, noisy. But in general, I like most of the Liverpool players. Anyone that plays for Liverpool, give them the benefit of the doubt. There's very few over the years who have disliked. But there's no getting away from the fact that every attack is down Trent's side. Every big chance that we're giving up is coming down Trent's side, and it's really, really getting bad now, and we don't have the players that are able to cover and mask it, and that's what's killing Trent. It's not Trent's fault totally. For years we've had a solid back four, a solid midfield that covered him. You've always said it. The work Henderson does off the ball that you don't see on the telly, that you see in the stadium, where he's covering from all the time. We're not getting that. So I think Gomez to right back is the only thing we can do. And I don't want to see James Milner there. If Bladen Calvin Klein is fit again, I don't want to see him there.
Yeah,
I want to see Joe Gomez. Yeah, I don't think he's in the training or he's anywhere near.
He was on the bench for Rangers last week, but he wasn't in the squad for Arsenal. Yeah. I don't think he'll be in it tomorrow.
No, I think we need Joe Gomez to... And Joe Gomez needs it as well because he was a bit of a lamb to the slaughter after Napoli. He wasn't great. He got caught a couple of times. But again, that was a team that was just in disarray that night. He was whipped off and sort of bombed a bit for a few games after that. And this injury to Trent gives him a chance. So I think the spark is maybe shore it up at the back and then see what we can do going forward, because I just think it's affecting the whole team, and I think while Trent is the easy target, I think Virgil van Dijk needs to sort himself out. Joel Matip's injury is another one that I think might be not a blessing in disguise, but it's never a blessing in disguise when Matip gets injured. But he hasn't been great. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's just, it's all stemming from that back four. So, is Robbo back? I don't know. I don't think he's
back in full training today.
Yeah, is he in contention for tomorrow? I wouldn't risk him. So. I can't say. I'd say
he
Man
might
City,
be for the weekend, but I can't see him.
And more likely, and you'd rather see that. You wouldn't want to blade and push him into this.
You could probably see him getting training today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and then see where he is.
Yeah, and so that's. I mean, I think a couple of changes into the back four, and as I said, if I wouldn't be surprised if Nat Phillips played. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Nat Phillips, and Costa Simicas as the back four. Is it ideal? No. Should it be enough against Rangers? Yeah. So, let's see what happens.
Yeah. I think, the obvious one is just go. You leave Van Dijk and Konate there and you go Gomez. Because Konate needs minutes as well, remember. He's only back. Yeah. He gets 25 against Arsenal. He needs minutes, especially if Matip's out for a couple of weeks and he wants Konate back in there, especially for Sunday. I understand, do you risk him because what happens if something happens, but on the other side of that coin, you need to give him some game time so he's ready to play Sunday, regardless whether it's City or anybody else. So I think the obvious one is for Joe Gomez to come in there, and I think that's what he'll do. But we'll give our starting 11 at the end, but just looking in the midfield, with the loss of Diaz,
you have to fucking think who's available.
Does he put Jota? Does he put Jota left, and does he bring Firmino in as that fourth attacker and leave two him in the middle of midfield, or does he revert back and say, right, like you've said, you need to be solid, and the best way you can probably solid is go back to Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson, and play Jota, Salah, and either or Firmino, Núñez up front?
I think he'll stick with the four attackers because I think it caused Rangers a lot of problems, and I think if we can solidify the defence and then start pushing forward, we could see the reward of that. I can't see him going. I know what you're saying. I can't see him going back to the 4-3-3. Maybe against City, I can. Definitely against City, I can. But I can't see him doing it against Rangers. I think he goes with that again. And because of the personnel that's out, I think we look at a two-man midfield, and I agree with that four you've just said. Up in the forward position. I've given me team already here, but
I know. Yeah, I'll get you through at the end anyway.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think Fabinho comes on the weekend, doesn't cover himself in any glory. In fairness, I don't think Henderson, Thiago, or Fabinho. They're probably the three actual midfielders that appear on the pitch at the weekend, and they didn't cover themselves in glory whatsoever, in my opinion. They're way too open. No, they're way too open. They're way too open in the game. We've seen that in the fourth minute, and we've seen it in the last minute of the first half where we're too open, even from our own set pieces.
Yeah.
For me, Fabinho would usually come on and go, right, I'm taking control of this fucking game. That's enough messing, and he simply doesn't. He's all over the place. So I don't know what two he plays. I think you might see Fabinho, Thiago though.
Okay.
Because Henderson's played Sunday, and we have to get into this where Henderson, I don't know if he can do 3 games in a week.
Yeah.
If you're going to play him. But I don't think he can do 3 games in a week, and I think you might see Fabinho, Thiago. I agree, he mightn't go with that 3 in midfield. I was just thinking more, do you just put 3 in the midfield and keep them narrow and keep them solid? But against that, I think you're going to see Rangers play that guy, what's his name, Fashion
Sakala.
I think he's going to play. I think Ryan Kent will play. So they will have threat out wide. They have got pace, a little bit trickery as well. But in midfield, it's all about the midfield being able to protect this back four. For me. Now the only thing against that is if Gomez comes in, Gomez just wants to defend. Yeah. No, I don't like him at right back.
And he's quick as well.
He's quick and he's good. He's decent. He can be decent on the cover because he's a centre half playing at right back, so he wants to get in close to his centre halves. My only worry is off the back of him, especially from deep balls, deep crosses. I think I worry about Joe Gomez. But I think the fact that he's there brings that extra layer of defensive solidity, I suppose, which allows you to put them 4 on the pitch up front. You know, Elliott hasn't got a mention yet. Carvalho hasn't got a mention yet.
No.
I would have loved to see Calvin Ramsey fit and playing. I'm being honest, but it's not the big.
And this could be the game that you do that. You know, maybe we will see a Carvalho or an Elliott in this game. And you know why I think you might see Henderson? Because depending on who they have in midfield. Now, I don't know if they're going to play Bleeding Steve Davis in midfield again. He's as old as us. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's played and he's past it. He's well past it. He must be. Yeah, he must be. But Henderson in that first game, I thought, was brilliant. And it was a false economy, obviously, but his passing was forward, his passing was quick, his passing was crisp. Little first-time passes over the top, and he tore them apart, right, in all fairness. I don't know if we get that space again, because I don't know if they're going to go with a John Lundstrom, Steve Davis, and who the fuck else played in there? Malik Tillman or whatever. I was here. I can't remember who the third, or did they even play 3? I don't know. But whoever it was, I think... From looking at that game, I think Van Bronckhorst must look at it and say, we need to get in about this. We can't be passive like we were, because they were awful. You know, they were, and we only scored from set pieces.
Could you see maybe Henderson, Fabinho and leave Thiago out? Or do you need that little bit of creativity to get it to these 4?
Yeah, see, that's what I think, the quick pass, and I'm giving Henderson too much praise here, because this was the outlier, this game, you know. Everything else with Henderson, every other game we're seeing it slower. But against Rangers, he was just doing everything quick. Yeah, 37, yeah. I mean, as Emmett says, Jimmy White, Alex Higgins and Cliff Thorburn in midfield for them tomorrow. Exactly, you know. One for the kids days, might have to Google them. But
might have to.
Great shout, but like there's Milko in. Hendo's not good enough for Liverpool. You know,
no,
that's fair enough at the moment. But we have to play someone.
Yeah, but hold on a minute. Whether you feel he's good enough or not good enough, he's literally one of 3 probably options you have to go into midfield. Unless you're looking to play, it's a 2-man midfield. It's him, Fabinho, Thiago, right? Yeah. Or if you want to throw Milner in there and absolutely fucking throw your hand grenade in there, absolutely do so. So he's in the conversation. he's had good games for Liverpool this season. He's had some poor games for Liverpool this season. I thought he was good against Rangers. I thought he was poor against Arsenal. But it's like every week. Henderson was just terrible. Everybody was fucking bad.
Yeah.
Everybody's being bad. Bar Alisson and I think Luis Diaz. I think everyone else is being poor for the majority of this season. You know what? You could see Henderson Fabinho, but again with Joe Gomez at right back, you're losing an outlet in midfield then, aren't you? Really?
Yeah.
Thiago's a bit of an outlet where you give it to him, he can hold it, and hasn't been the best of form, but
he can speed things up, Thiago. You know what I mean? He can raise the tempo,
and he can just open teams up with balls out wide really quickly to Salah and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But looking up front, like Salah hasn't been good enough.
No, he's been dreadful.
I 100% want to see Nunez play. I'm literally on board Nunez playing every game.
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't agree more. I think he needs to, because I think we need to start saying, right, we have a squad. What?
I think Milko's hit the unlike button because we disagreed. There's 3 people unlike now. But keep going.
Hendo good enough for Rangers. Rangers is championship. See, Milko, you're entitled to your opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Like, but Hendo's the captain of the club, so you know what I mean. Like, he's going to get games, and my thinking about playing him in this one is, you play him in this one and you might rest him against City, where he might not have the legs. But then you don't know what Klopp will deal with. It'll be interesting to see. But hit that like button again there, Milko. Go on,
take your own like and turn her into a like. Turn that frown upside down. I know there's 4. Fuck off. They're all messing now. But listen, if you want to hit the like button, you can. There's 183 people watching. 65 have liked. 4 have unliked. So we're winning. 66 points to 4. But look, nothing we can do.
There's a shout there. A few people are saying it about Bajcetic maybe getting a shout. He's been in training and things like that. Could you see it in a scenario where they throw a kid in?
Not in a 2.
No.
But I couldn't in a 3.
And maybe that could be an option, you know what I mean? Maybe the spark the Didi Hamann spark could be a youngster. I was watching a few of the Champions League youth games. Just they're on, you know what I mean, when during the day it's grand to watch them, and there's some good players in that youth team, whether they're ready for first team or not. But I like, obviously Bajcetic is a great player, but I like Bobby Clark as well. He's a good player, and the young lad that he got off Celtic, Ben Dokes, a nice little winger, you know what I mean? And we don't have wingers, so maybe we need to look at it. Not for tomorrow, I'm saying, but just as the season progresses.
Well, that's why you've heard stuff about Cale Gordon, and everyone's gone, where is he?
Yeah.
And like I said, I want to see Darwin Nunez start, right? I think Bobby's been in great form, but Bobby's shown that if you start him, he can be good. If you Bobby used to be great from the start, and then if you brought him on as a sub, you go, he's not really doing much. Whereas this season, it's kind of, he comes on as a sub, he's doing well. He starts, he's doing well. He has a nice rhythm going, Firmino. Yeah. So as much as he's in good form, I think he's actually great to use as a foil for Nunez's sort of progression early on in this season. And I want Nunez to start. I think Jota most definitely starts out on the left. And I think Salah will start on the right. But I still think Firmino will start as well. I think he'll put them all in. Unless he does something like a Carvalho or an Elliott in that position ahead of the 2 midfielders. And I'm not against that. But I just want to see Salah be more in the positions, corner of the box, on that line, getting that player rather than being stuck out on the wing, because he's just getting, as good as he is, Salah, he's getting isolated out there, and they're able to close him off very easily. And you have to remember, Joe Gomez isn't going to go flying by him every minute, or give us a back there, Mo, and I'll put some of the best balls you've ever seen into the box, So
I'd love to see Salah just tear the arse out with someone. Do you know what I mean? Like, not just get scuttery little penalties and things like that. And Milko's having a little pop about us defending Henderson and slaying Salah. Yeah, okay, whatever. If you think Salah's being good and beyond criticism, well then that's up to you. But we criticised all the players. I think it's probably about 6 minutes ago, Gav, that you said the only ones that have covered themselves in any glory has been Alisson and maybe it was Diaz. So I mean, we can take it by that comment that Henderson is included there as well, pal. So
listen, come here. I don't
know what narrative you're trying to paint here.
But listen, come here. I'm well used to the fact that Naby Keita and Jordan Henderson, if you mention their name in any way,
Yeah.
If you fucking say it in your head walking down the street, somebody will fucking turn around and say, "What did you say?" And they have an opinion on it. I think Henderson's been poor this season. I think he's had some
He's
good
been
spots.
awful.
I think he's been awful at times. I'm not getting into Keita because he hasn't been really been around. But what I don't
He's not
get
even
is
registered.
no. But what I don't get is that, and it just seems to be whenever there's a bad result, it's like, oh, he's not good enough. Straight, just him all the fucking time, and that's where I kind of get like I have endless arguments over Jordan Henderson, and I'm kind of sitting having these arguments going. Yeah, it's not like I'm fucking obsessed with Jordan Henderson. Why do people keep needing to tell me he was this, that, or the other? But listen, he's definitely in contention for tomorrow. And I always say it doesn't go back to the summer, but in this one it probably does, because if we do the two midfielders like we all thought we would do in this summer, I think Henderson and Milner's roles in this squad change massively.
Yeah.
But because they haven't really changed, and Milner's been on the pitch way too much.
And not only that, how things have panned out since then has dictated it even more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so we're in a worse fucking state than we were before the transfer window closed.
Exactly. And there's a lot.
And these are the ones who are fit.
Look, there's no way out of it next summer, because at the end of the day, Milner's not going to be there, in my opinion. I don't think Keita will be there. Oxlade-Chamberlain won't be there. Henderson will be another year older. So will Fabinho. So will Thiago.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, if you don't do anything, you're leaving a lot of fucking work on the top of Carvalho and Elliott as two real youngsters. Curtis Jones just can't seem to get fit. So it's one of those. So there's an awful lot of work that has to be done. And then you'll see, if they do the work that they need to do, either in January or the summer, then you'll see the evolution of players in this squad and where they play and don't play. But at the moment, we're working with what we have, and rightly or wrongly, we're working. Yeah, exactly.
And I wouldn't mind, before we do move off that, we can drop Henderson and just go and put our eggs in the Fabinho, Thiago mask. But what happens then when one of them gets injured? Do you know what I mean? And then we're down another midfield. We have to rotate these. We have to juggle this squad. And at the moment, Henderson is in there. Milner is getting more game time than he would want as well. But it really is needs must. This isn't a case of these two boys are getting the game ahead of 4 or 5 others that is there. It's fucking lads just available. Who's available? Boom, we're going to use yours.
Mike McCardle is defending himself massively. He said, I only dislike this because my girlfriend was here. I'll hit the like as soon as she goes to bed. I'm not allowed to like football. Okay,
Mike, are you in Ireland? Because all of Irish women are loving football tonight, pal.
Yeah,
so if you are, with a name like McCardle, even if you're not, you can claim Irish blood and say, look, we're loving the footy tonight.
What's this?
What?
Gav, say the security thing on your dog and bone. I've heard good things. What the fuck is that?
The security thing on your phone?
Oh, IP vanish. Is that what he's talking about?
Is it, Fran, confirm, is it IP
Fran,
vanish that you want?
You need to stop talking
Give the people
riddles.
what they want.
Yeah, you really do. But look, we can go to. I'm going to say we can go through all the players all night, but there's not an awful lot of them fucking
There's
left.
not many of them, and that's it.
Alisson in goal.
Yeah.
No doubt. Okay.
No.
Tsimikas, Van Dijk, Konate, Gomez. Think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we have a little chat about Virgil van Dijk?
Of course we can.
Because he needs to step up.
Yeah.
Like a few of them. Needs to 100%. Step up in a massive way. Because it's just he looks a shadow of himself, and not even in a footballing sense, in a leadership sort of way. And he's not the only one, but he's going back to Glasgow tomorrow as a former Celtic player, playing at Ibrox for Liverpool. He really needs to start stepping up. He really needs to be aggressive, start dominating early along the ground, be more confident on the ball coming out. We need to see a 180 from him, don't we? And I think it's that severe. We need to see a 180 from Virgil van Dijk.
100%, because it's, as I said, I've been quite critical of Trent, and Trent is the one that's getting all the blame. But for me, Virgil van Dijk is the leader of this team. People argue about Jordan Henderson not being the captain and James Milner not being the valid voice captain. Virgil van Dijk is the real captain of the team. Well, he hasn't been playing that way, and the more and more I'm thinking about it, I'm fucking sick about this World Cup that's on in the middle of the season. I think he's got his eye on that, because I can't believe our coaching team are telling him to just give them too much space and not to commit to anything. I think he's playing with a fear that he's going to miss the fucking World Cup. And I could be wrong, because it's only a guess. You know what I mean? We're not claiming we're in the nowhere land. This is just guesswork. But for me, it looks like he's just playing. He's 2 yards further back. And I know his strength was always that he never committed. He waited for the forwards to commit themselves. But he's giving them too much fucking room now. And it's making their life a hell of a lot easier. His timing is off by a second. The penalties that he's conceding are showing that he's a little bit off. And I just don't think he's as sharp. Is it down to the delayed reaction to his coming back from his injury? Did he come back last year in momentum? But he was very fucking good last year. What we're seeing this year is totally different. And I think he, of all of them, is the one. Like Mo, I think needs to sort of start chipping in with goals, because it's not that long ago we were saying he's the best player in the world, and he's not playing that way now. And Van Dijk is the best defender in the world, and he's not playing that way now. And we need these two especially. Forget about Bash Henderson all we want. Thiago, I think, needs to step up as well. Fabinho needs to step up. Robbo, when he was there, needed to step up. Matip needed to step up. But these two are the big boys. Van Dijk and Salah are the two big boys, and they're the ones that we need. We need leadership from Van Dijk, and we need goal threat from Mo. And if we don't have that, we've said it for years on this show, it's a machine, and if one part of the machine breaks down, the machine is fucked. And this is the engine that's going, so hopefully we can get it fixed.
It's when I look at Van Dijk, he's usually, if someone's on the break against us, he's usually shepherding them one way and he's pointing to someone as if he wants them, and he'll wait and he waiting and then he pounce. But there's none of that now. He seems to be when we're being attacked, he seems to be floating and looking and a bit hesitant. And I don't think he's protecting himself for a World Cup, because I think it's actually easier to get injured if you're going in half-hearted and things than going in full blood. If you go in, if you doubt yourself in a tackle or turning or whatever, and you're a little bit tentative, I think there's more of a chance of being injured. I don't think Virgil van Dijk is a professional footballer is going out playing for Liverpool every week and saying, well, I have a World Cup, I'm not performing. I just don't think...
a lot to be said from missing the Euros.
I know that, Keith, but I don't see it. I think
I don't think it's in his personality.
No, I think the sort of player
I don't think it's in his... But it's just form. I can't get it out of my head.
But it's just form.
Yeah, but he's not doing the simple... Like, the beauty of him was, as you said, he was making the forwards, and good forwards, he was making them make up their minds in what they didn't want to fucking do. And before you know it, they're shepherded out to their weak foot in a poxy position, and he'd gobbled them up. Now it's like he's just... You're not going to expect to see him committing into tackles. That's not his game. But you need to see a bit more leadership and composure from him, and that's just where I think he needs to step up. Sorry for a second, Black Prince. Keith, did I hear you say Thiago needs to step up, brother? He's the only one in the midfield who was being shown a fight. Now, look, you won't find a bigger Thiago fan than me, pal, and if you think he's been at the races, I have to say I don't. Personally, I think he's been way below what we'd expect from him. He's still a great player. He's still brilliant. He's not being helped by the team around him, but he certainly hasn't been bleeding. The only one that's been shown up for me. But look, it's all about opinions. I'm not saying I'm definitely right, but I stand by that.
No, I think Thiago, every 10 games, he's probably good in 6 or 7 of them this season. And
that's fair.
And I know he's missed a few, but on that sort of ratio. And then there's 2 or 3, I think, where he's gone a bit missing. I think Brighton is one of them. I think Arsenal is another one. And that's 2 league games in a row, I think. Mohammed Farouk says, now, Gav, you're wrong. He's missed the Euros this time. He wants to play in the World Cup, I'm telling you. And Emma Kavanagh says, it's a subconscious thing with Virgil van Dijk, not a deliberate thing. The mind and body are strange things. But he's going to have to get playing, or just take him out of the team. Get to the stage where you go, listen, it's just not happening. There's mistakes. And you see, this might be a good one for Virgil van Dijk going back to Glasgow. I think it might be a good one, where he just needs to puff his chest out, be a bit more aggressive, and then we know where he can be. With the Salah one, look, Salah hasn't been in good form since the turn of the year. For me, yeah. And he had a lot to deal with. We've said this umpteen times. You know, he loses the AFCON final where he's playing extra time every fucking day.
Yeah.
He then gets the World Cup qualifier against Senegal, wasn't it?
Against Mane
Yeah,
again twice.
and he gets done there, and he comes
With
back
the
in that great
lasers and
form.
all that in the
Yeah.
eyes.
And then the deal is signed in the summer, and of course, straight away it's going to be, oh, is he not playing well? Can you point to the system a little bit with Salah? Because I think he's the one it's probably hardest on at the minute. And I'm only saying that because if you watch the highlights of Sunday, when Liverpool were getting in the box, Diaz was floating from the left and ends up on the right and gets across into Núñez. But it was Jota, Núñez, Diaz just seen near the box, near Arsenal's goal. Salah seemed to be on the periphery somewhere.
But why is he on the periphery?
I don't know.
That's the thing. Is that down to the coaching? And that's what it could well be. It could well be instruction, but I can't see the benefit of having him hugging the right.
I can't either. But if you're trying to cover yourself, if you're trying to cover yourself on the right hand side, in his mind, he hasn't got that Jordan Henderson out there on the right that he used to have. He hasn't got Trent distracting all sorts, the way he moves and the way he goes, and you know how good he is from anywhere within 50 yards of the goal. He's kind of out there on his own, knowing that he doesn't have that cover behind him and that fella running beyond him to give him space. Now, that's not saying he shouldn't be able to adapt to that and perform, but he just seems to be an awful long way away from the goal, Keith.
He's too far away. He's too far away from the box. And I know we keep saying it, he's very predictable, and there's nothing wrong with being predictable. Do you know, Arjen Robben was the most predictable player you'd ever seen. Couldn't stop him. And Mo Salah, when he's on form, is predictable, but he's devastating. The problem now is that he's playing out on the right touchline further to the wing than he's ever been. And if you're left-footed, like, he's not going around the defender to get a cross in, so we know he's cutting back in. Is it worth playing him centrally? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it worth trying him in a more central position or even rotating? Because you touched on there, Diaz, you know, and in a lot of games I've seen Diaz and Núñez and Jota rotating and switching around. And Salah is always the one that's seemingly not stuck to his position, but you're not seeing too much of him out off that right flank. And it's just not working at the moment. Now, whether, as I said, there's a lot of this... People give Pep Linders a lot of stick for releasing a book. How dare he release a book about intensity? And I don't know. Maybe Pep Linders doesn't have the spark, and maybe it's the coaching that are telling Salah to stay wide and not get involved and wait for your chance to come out, and they're telling Trent not to run back when you lose possession. It's up to the midfield or the centre backs to cover you. You just worry about, like, it doesn't make sense any of that to me. But they keep doing it. They're not changing it, and that's why it has me head fried, Gav. Why are these players not changing it? Why does Salah not think, I'm not getting a fucking sniff out here? Every defender has me in his pocket. Like the United fullback that time, can't even think of his name. I tipped him to be the one to watch.
Man.
Yeah, I can't. Maciel. What's a Maciel or whatever the fuck his name is?
Yeah.
Had him in his pocket in his first game, his first start. So many players do that with Salah. And that's okay when it's 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 that it's happening in, but it's too fucking common now. And I can't see why Salah moving a little bit, not in central, a little bit off the wing, that he can do a bit more damage in. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me.
The only thing I would say is Malacia, says Kavanagh, we just couldn't get that out between either of us. The only thing I would say is that with Diaz gone, Jota gone out to the left, right? Jota will look to get inside and get close to Núñez, right?
Yeah.
And with the fact that if you play Firmino, he seems to link up best with Firmino. And what I mean by that is he puts it inside Firmino. Firmino gives him a little layoff, and Salah can go and cause a bit of damage. And I'm wondering, do you nearly pair them up now and you say, right, Jota's going to get close to Núñez, and you're going to have Firmino maybe just dropping a little bit to the right-hand side, where you say, right, you go and walk with him there, and we let these guys walk off the left, and whoever ends up wherever they are. Because if you get Firmino and Salah playing balls between them in that area of the pitch where he's on line with the corner of the box.
Yeah, little round the corner, little
he's either he can get chances, he can get shots, but not only that, the players that Jota are and the player that Jota is and the player Nunes is, you can put your fucking house on it, that if you get beyond the defence, them two are going to be in the box like a fucking rat up a drain pipe looking for a ball in the box, because that's what they are. Nunes loves getting in the box, and Jota loves being in there as well. So maybe, although I don't like the fact that Diaz out for that long, maybe it might be something where you can find that little link with Firmino, and Firmino might do that little bit of work where he'll shift across and help, to allow Salah to cheat a little bit. Maybe that's something you'll see, instead of going back to the 4-3-3. But he definitely needs
maybe that is it. Maybe it's just that, as you say, that link up, that play, because for years we've seen the Trent, Henderson, Salah combination on that right. And he knew, we'd pop it off, he'd go, he'd make the run, whether it be Henderson or Trent, to be finding him in that little channel in between the fullback and the centre back, and he's cutting them. So maybe it is Bobby that needs that, and maybe they're all adapting to Darwin coming in and trying to play Darwin into a bit of form or into familiarity and into a system. It could be a bit of that, but maybe it is a case of just getting his mates in around him and letting him play his way in. Because like I said, I'm not looking to slate Mo Salah the same way I'm not looking to slate Trent, and I'm not looking to slate Virgil. I just think, they all need to step up a bit and improve what we're getting out of them if we want to be working. I'll say it again, we're a well-oiled machine when we're a well-oiled machine, and if a bit of it breaks, we're shy. I like the lawnmower Rodney tried to sell to in Only Fools and Horses.
And if we don't have the legs in midfield to play that 3, and we're trying to play 2 a little bit, standing off a little bit and trying to be, a bit more square in midfield, we are going to have to find some sort of solution to getting Salah. And because them guys ahead of Fabinho, whether it would have been Wijnaldum going back, or Thiago or Henderson or Keita or whoever it might be, they would have linked to allowing the wide man and the fullbacks do their thing going forward. Yeah. And if you're missing that player, you're going to have to find a solution to still get them in really good positions. The key to it could actually be not the wide man, not the striker, but the guy in behind. And Firmino coming in now, where I think he will come in and play as that 10. I think the one that could benefit the most could be Mo Salah, but the proof will be in the pudding tomorrow night. Yeah. So Alisson in goal. We're both happy with Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk, Tsimikas.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Thiago, Fabinho.
I'm going to say Thiago, Henderson, but either or.
Yeah, I'm just trying to protect a couple of players here. Yeah. But I think Thiago has to play if you're looking. If you can't find that fix, when you go that 2 midfield, you can't find that fix that the 3 used to have in supplying them, he's probably our best option to be a halfway house between it. Firmino behind Nunes, Salah, Jota.
Yeah.
I think, and you've 5 subs. You've 5 subs.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got players that can come on and look, without being disrespectful to Rangers, and I think it'll be a tough game. I think it'll be a tough atmosphere. It'll be much harder than it was at Anfield. But if you can get a lead in, then you can bring in the Carvalhos and all that, and you can start using your squad. Because the problem when you're losing, you're not playing well, you're losing games, is you try and force your way back in, and you end up losing more bodies. And I don't want this. I don't want tomorrow to be a grind. Do you know what I mean?
I'd love to be comfortable, and then you can say to yourself, right, we want to protect Thiago here, so we're bringing Milner in for the last 25. We want to protect Nunes, so we're bringing in Carvalho, and we're going to put Jota up front. We want, it's all about protecting 4 or 5 players for the weekend, and bringing players on in order to sort them out. That sort of way. We have to give score predictions. Go on, I'll let you go first. And you have to give goal scorers.
I think 4-0. I think
the last time you've done this, we lost at Old Trafford. Go on.
I know. Yeah, I think I went 5 that night.
No, you went 6.
Did I? 6
or 7?
Yeah, that's right. And Shawnee went 13.
Yeah.
No, I think 4-0. I think. And look, it's not being disrespectful. I just don't know where the threat comes from Rangers, but this is based on Liverpool stepping up, because the threat can come from anybody if we're just fucking sleepwalking again. But I think Salah will get 2. I think he's gonna batter someone soon, and I think tomorrow could be it. I think Nunes will get one, and I think Jota will get one. Okay. So all the forwards.
I'm gonna go 3-1. I can't see us. Yeah, I can't see us keeping a clean sheet up there. I just can't. But I'd rather us be 3-0 up or 2-0 up when it happens.
One comes.
I can kind of see us being 2-0 up. They get one as a bit of a fucking and then we take it away from them. I think Firmino scores. I think Núñez scores. And I think I'll put Salah in for one. I think if what in my mind happens, Firmino's definitely giving him some opportunities. So I'm going to go 3-1. And that should probably put the group to bed, bar the kicking and screaming. Kev O'Sullivan has 2-0, Darwin by 2. Kudo Ranyoa says 3-1. Jonathan has 2-0. VVD, Header and Jota. Bonker says 6-0. Didn't name the scorers. I shouldn't have read that out. Dan J says 4-0. Salah, Jota, Virgil, Núñez. Sean P. Casey has 1-0. Tom Boland has a dirty 2-1. Mike McCardle wants to know when Taffarel is going to get a start. Curtis J says 3-0. Núñez, Jota, Bobby. Let me go down here a bit further. Firmino 2, Salah 2, Núñez 1, Carvalho 1 says that's bonkers following up. And Rangers, Owen Book says Rangers have Brian Laudrup, Ali McCoy, George Alberts, and Gascoigne back tomorrow night. So, look, they're a different animal up there. There's no doubt about it. They're different animals. There's 48,000 Rangers fans, probably 2,000 Liverpool fans. They're loud. It'll be frantic. It'll be one of those where you just have to come out and silence them and play and get ahead, and I think we'll be absolutely fine. That's the end of the preview. We're signing Kylian Mbappé.
Yeah, it's about time, because we've been threatening this for a while, and there's a reason we haven't signed anyone else. You know what I mean? We've been saving up to team them with our other forwards that we have there. You know, it's a position in need. So
Kylian Mbappé signs a new 2-year deal with Paris Saint-Germain. He basically gets given the keys to the gaff.
Yeah, million a week.
Yeah, $1 million a week. Paris Saint-Germain, after he signs the deal, says he's now worth 400 million.
Yeah.
So he'll be worth about 200 million come next summer. But apparently, Kylian Mbappé wants to leave Paris Saint-Germain in January after feeling betrayed.
Yeah.
Fucking circus stuff.
Because why does
this just keep coming up, Keith?
Why do Liverpool even get fucking mentioned with it? Because all I'm saying is Liverpool.
Like, if he'll want, like, let's just put it straight. Kylian Mbappé signs Liverpool tomorrow, right? He will want at least 650 grand a week. At least.
Yeah.
Right? Even if he's to take a drop. Even if he's to take a drop. Even if he's to take a drop, right? Yeah? Okay. It'll cost you 150 million. Yeah. And I don't know why we just keep getting linked to this fella.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
He wants to go to Madrid, but Paris Saint-Germain want to sell him to Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, Madrid, like, they said they'd never sign him now, didn't he? What's that psychopath that owns them?
Oh, Florentino
not
Perez.
Listening. Florentino lashed him out.
Be careful.
Florentino lashed him over when he rejected him. He's not the type of player we need. We'll never sign for him. I wonder if Florentino's softened his cough now and he knows he wants out. But does he want out? I don't think he wants out. I just think he wants more control there, and that's what it all comes down to.
But this fella is about 22.
Yeah.
And he wants more control of Paris Saint-Germain. Like, what?
Yeah.
He's a footballer.
Bear in mind, right? Paris Saint-Germain was only founded in about 1970, right? So they're a Johnny-come-lately team. They've no history about them. They fuck all back behind them. This fella is a Parisian. He's the future. Pin your hopes on him. I can understand them giving him everything to keep him there to win the Champions League. I don't know why he has the hump already, because number one, he's not happy
Apparently,
with the signings.
Somebody says their own book says he wants Neymar out of the club.
Yeah, well, that's well known. He wants Neymar out, and he's not happy where he's playing. So he's playing centre forward, and he wants to play out left. And Neymar is playing out left. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that Messi has as much power now than he did at Barcelona. Well, look, you're going to have to suck that one up, Kylian, because Messi is Messi. And I think Messi has been quite passive since he went to PSG to allow these other lads to run the show. But ultimately, to me, I mean, he doesn't like all the signings they've made. He doesn't feel it's improved them. And to me, I think he'd probably just... looking for more money to make it easier for him. I can't see a world where someone's going to spunk up for him in January, certainly. I know
Well, it's
Real
not
will
like
always
he
be
might want out, but he now has to stay there for another 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, they're under no.
Yeah, he signed the contract, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless it has a release clause. Look at the Haaland thing comes out that, he has a release clause.
Yeah.
200
Real
million.
Madrid will want him. There's no doubt about that. But I just
they'll be
I just
all
can't get
over
my
him.
head around this whole Mbappé thing. And I've heard before, like, oh well, Nike would pay so much of the wages and all. It's not about that.
He got a picture with LeBron, and that really sold me. I thought, right, this is it. This is fucking it. Like, he got a picture with LeBron James, and
but it'd be
LeBron
like,
James
if you seen him coming out of the
Liverpool
Oilax
through and
Centre with
through.
a new pair of Air Max in a bag, would that do you as well? Like, he's buying
of
Nike.
course.
Liverpool are sponsored by Nike. Yeah, okay.
The Liverpool stores in the Oilac, it's all happening. It's written in the stars.
Yeah.
There's a load of 2 and 2 equals fucking 75 going on when it comes to this lad. And look, don't get me wrong, I think he's better than Haaland. I think he's absolutely sensational. But in no fucking planet can I see him coming to Liverpool.
I'd have
chance.
I'd have Haaland over him every day of the week.
No, he's much better. He's a better player. Haaland's just a
I'd have
freakish goal scorer.
Yeah, that's fine.
He scores
That'll do me.
goals as well. Mbappé scores a made and rake of them.
I'd have Haaland every day of the week over.
But no, I would personally. I prefer Mbappé myself. But either way, look at what Haaland's getting at City. Look at what Mbappe's getting at PSG. We don't even mention our names with this. Do you know what I mean? We fucking had to go and light candles and say novenas to sign Salah to 350 grand a week. And he's fucking banging in goals left, right, and centre. Like, this isn't going to happen. We're just being used here as a name, in foreign press that don't
as a name for Real
Madrid
Madrid to come and get him. Yeah. Other breaking news: Angela Lansbury passed away today.
Oh Jesus! And that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
Sorry, Angela, if your family are
if
watching.
you're listening.
Yeah.
But
I used to love More Than She Wrote.
Everyone watched More Than She Wrote, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
great old show, yeah.
Was. So condolences to Angela Lansbury's family, because a certain generation of people would have watched a hell of a lot of Angela Lansbury back in the day. More Than She Wrote.
It was I
like,
say there may have been a first crush for many of them people.
Well, you want to be some age? She's 96. You know what I mean?
Not saying me, but
you want to be about 70.
There's a few that might have started their young
I don't know how many 82-year-olds are watching this show. She's 96.
They don't have to be 82, but
But
she
Angela
was a
Lansbury,
staple
More
on
Than
the
She
TV
Wrote,
back then.
Columbo, and then you had the Dukes of Hazzard. You had all that stuff on a Saturday. I used to love it. But there you go. We have a prize to give away.
We do.
It's thanks to bookmakers.com TV. We done a video for them a couple of weeks ago about ranking Liverpool's.
Good crack, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ranking Liverpool's managers from Shankly right up to today, and Jurgen Klopp. They are on YouTube. They do all sorts of stuff on YouTube, like about horse riding and football, also all the sports. They do little previews and stuff like that. Their content is quite good. But they've come along to us and they said, listen, the secret prize, the secret shirt company. So basically, this is, you order this, you don't know what jersey is going to come. You basically give them your size, and this jersey turns up in a box, right? So what we done was we done a tweet today. It's on our timeline, and all you have to do is go into this tweet, follow us and follow Bookmakers TV, and you're in with a chance, because they're going to track how many followers they've got from today up until it closes on Thursday, and all them names will be given to us to go into a draw. But we said we have to let our YouTube people in on this, and the people that listen to on the download. So what we've done is we've left it for this long. So what you do is, when the show is over, anybody watching, when the show is over, you go into the comments after the show and you type in secret, SECRET. That's it. Just type in secret, and we'll take all them names, we'll add them to the Twitter names, we'll spin a wheel, and we'll come up with a winner. We'll give the winner's details to bookmakers.com TV, and the prize will be sent out to you. So the word is secret. Put it in the comments afterwards. It closes at 12 o'clock on Thursday. This Thursday the 13th, it closes. So I'll be checking Twitter. I'll be checking I'll be checking YouTube as well. So I think you have to be subscribed. I think you might have to put the comments in afterwards. So stick the word secret in the comments afterwards, all right? It's a good prize. I kind of like these things. And that's the prize. So check them out. Bookmakers.com TV. You will find them on YouTube. If you go onto our tweet, you'll find them there. You can like them. And the secret short company as well, like shitloads of followers on Twitter. And there's a few of these going around, these crowds that do this, but these, I've looked it up and all the reviews and stuff on them, and their stuff is absolutely brilliant as well.
Yeah. It's deadly. If you collect that sort of thing, it's quality, you know what I mean?
You'd love that.
Yeah.
But you can't win.
What?
No, you can't.
Hold on a minute. You fucking did you dropping it on me now?
Yeah, well, you can't win.
All over the place.
And the likes of Chris Brack and Kevin Emmett and stuff like that, they can win. You're a contributor to the show. We can't. Yeah, Michael Murphy is putting the word in secret now. No, you don't do it now, Michael. When the show is over, you go into the comments afterwards.
There's a few of them doing it.
Yeah, no, don't put it in there now. No, not now. The comments when the show finishes. Not in the live chat. In the comments underneath after the show. When the show ends, you go on and you hit the comments. It drops down. Leave a comment secret. And we can do it there. And anyone listening on the download, go on to Twitter. Okay? And you can follow them there to get a chance. And if you do both, you can win twice, by the way. You can win twice. If you follow them on Twitter and you put in secret, you get in twice. So if you're listening on the download, because this will be out for download as soon as we're finished, you can come into the YouTube and put your secret in there. And your word secret, don't tell us any secrets. Your word secret in there, and you can stick it on YouTube and follow. So if you follow and comment, you get 2 entrants. Secret bars were tasty back in the day, says Tommy C. Do you remember them?
Oh, were they the white chocolate and the dark chocolate, or white chocolate and milk chocolate? I don't know.
Were they?
Secrets.
Don't know.
Tommy, let us know. Were they mix of milk and white chocolate? Maybe.
Owen Borg says, can he win?
There's the rules.
Is he a contributor?
Well, yeah, rule him out. Anybody that's had their face on it, gone, you're out.
No,
unlucky.
You can't win it. No,
unlucky.
You can't. So there you go. No, you can't. Plus, last thing before we go, because we don't have to tell you about Bobby's Wish to Walk anymore. He's passed 150k. That's absolutely great. We've teamed up with WeAreLiverpool.ie, and we've brought our beanie hats. They're on the way. They should be here in the next 30 days. They're arriving into Ireland.
They look good, don't they?
They do. They look deadly, don't they?
I like We Are Liverpool stuff. That the beanies are all quality. And this is just that same.
So WeAreLiverpool.ie is the website. Gavin, funny enough, is the man.
Yeah.
That looks after that. We have got a link on our website. If you go to our website, lfcdt.com, you will see a link to We Are Liverpool. His stuff is great. T-shirts, caps, the beanies, beer mats. There's loads of stuff in it. But we've teamed up with them because he knows how to do all this. And we gave him the design. He's gone off. He's come back. The design looks great. We have posted it on Instagram. We've posted it on our Twitter. Plus, in the link in the description here, you'll see a link tree link where you click on that and you can find out everything about us. So it's really easy. It's in there. It's very limited, the amount we have. So if you want to pre-order them now, you can. And as soon as you get them into Ireland, Gav is going to go and take them and post them all over the place, because I know Matt has ordered them in Canada. So we're trying to get that one before it starts getting warm in Canada. But no, they're really nice. Like I said, if you go looking for us, you will find them. And be quick, because it's very limited, the amount we have. But this is literally a test run we're doing. We like the look of them, but as I said, they'll go quick. Hopefully they go quick, and there's not many of them, so go and check.
As Emmett says, they're pre-ordered and all. We Are Liverpool stuff is quality. I've loads off.
Yeah,
I got a bucket hat as well off them from Yale Hollier's. Great stuff. Quality, Nice little design on them.
Go and check that. Check that out if you want one. I think they're in around €21. But they're really good, because I have 2 of them. I have a Naby Keita and a Virgil van Dijk one already, from We Are Liverpool, and they're quality. And my kids fucking keep robbing them because they said they're lovely and warm. But yeah, go and check that out. It's a test run we're doing to see if we want to do anything more like this. So hopefully they do sell, and people like them, and then we can go and bring more designs. And we'll do it through We Are Liverpool, because they're good at what they do.
Forget about Liverpool X LeBron. This is Daytrippers X We Are Liverpool. This is the collaboration.
This is the one you've been waiting on. Anything else before we go, Keith? We're an hour and 4. We've done quite well there. I
We've
think.
done well, yeah. We've done well. No, we'll keep it. We'll keep it tight. Yeah, we covered everything. Great news about Bobby. To get over that line and to be a part of, driving that on, because we saw Sienna, and now it's another family that have a chance, that have a shot of changing the life of a young child. And we can talk about football and all, but when we do things like that,
it's good.
happy
Isn't it?
days.
Yeah.
Stefan Mack wants to know any Boca sales for short or hat or Boca shorts. I deal with the Maradona 82 on there, Stefan. If you want, you're not getting it.
Keith wouldn't give away jerseys to anyone. I'd say he leaves them to the Museum of Football in his will, I'd say, before he gives them to anyone else. Right, that has been the midweek fix. We will be back tomorrow. We're not too sure of the lineup, but we will be back tomorrow with full-time Reds after Rangers against Liverpool. We should have a viewer's voice on Thursday. We'll have Premier League forecast on Friday, and we should have a full-time Reds and a Fatback 4 on Sunday after Liverpool against Man City. Go and make sure you put the comment in underneath there so you can get into the draw for the Secret Show Company prize, and go and check out the link for the beanies as well, because I'm guaranteed if you don't do this quick, you'll be moaning, I never got one. Well, you didn't. I told you to do it and you didn't. That's it. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.